I'm actually wearing makeup today for a change. I don't know if you can even tell because it's very minimal, but I look like absolute crap. And I sat down to film and I filmed like a little, I'll call it like a test shot to see how I looked, and I looked like absolute crap, so I was like, I'm gonna have to put some makeup on. So today I'm gonna do a book review for He Said, She Said by Erin Kelly. I have a lot of thoughts and feelings on this book, but before we get into that, let's get into this. I literally just did a order the other day for books, and I figured I could have done a book haul, but there's only 3 books in here, so I figured there was not much point in doing a full-on I figured there was not much point in doing like a full-on video on this because there's only 3, so it would literally only be like 3 minutes. So the first book I got was The Sun Is Also a Star by Nicola Yoon. I've seen this advertised, and I don't know, the cover looked so cute. I don't really know what it's going to be about. But I've always really wanted to read this, so I don't know what it's going to be like. I do love like a young adult. Oh, it's the person that wrote Everything. I never read Everything, but I did see the movie and I did quite like it. So I got This One Is Also a Star. I paid £4 for it on Amazon. I then also got, which I've been dying to read, The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. I've never seen the TV show, but I really want to read it. I really want to read it. So I finally got it. I paid £4 for this as well. And oh my god, I hate when they put stickers on books. I really, really hate that. But I'm excited because I've been desperate to read this. I hope it's good. And then finally, I also got One of Us Is Next by Karen M. McManus. I've got both of her other books. One of Us Is Lying and Two Can Keep a Secret. They are young adult books. I actually really enjoyed them. I remember, I think One of Us Is Lying, I seen somebody do a book review on and they didn't really like it, and for some reason that compelled me, I decided to buy it because I think I saw it quite cheap online, and I read it and I actually really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the ending. The characters, yeah, maybe were a bit kind of one-dimensional at times, but I actually really enjoyed it. And then Two Can Keep a Secret, I really enjoyed it as well. I think it was different. It was a different story. Whereas this one is actually a continuation from One of Us Is Lying. I can't wait. I can't wait to read this. I'm so excited. And I love books with these coloured edges. But I'm so excited to read this. So those were the 3 books that I purchased, and I'm so excited to read them. I have a lot of new books now that I need to read, so I better not buy any more for a while. Okay, so He Said, She Said by Erin Kelly. I do have a lot of mixed feelings about this book. Overall, I think I gave a 3 out of 5. I would have given it a 4, but my main issue with it was, I had a few issues actually. It got off to a very slow start, I felt, and to be honest, for a good chunk of the book, I didn't know what was happening. Our main characters are Laura and Kit, and different chapters are told from their perspectives. So we have some chapters from Laura, then some chapters from Kit, but we also have chapters told in the past. So we have, I think this book's set in 2015, but we also have chapters set in the past from Laura and Kit's perspective, and it's 1999 into the year 2000. Normally, I never get confused when there's like jumping back and forth between time periods, but in this one, I actually did. And I think because it started with quite a cryptic chapter, or just 2 pages at the start, and I was like, okay, we're in a court, we're in the toilet, the bathroom. We're in the bathroom of a courthouse, or a court. I don't know what's happening, but something's happening. And then it starts in 2015 with Laura. She's pregnant, she's having twins, and her husband Kit is a massive eclipse fanatic. He travels all around the world chasing eclipses, an eclipse chaser. And he loves that. He loves eclipses with a passion, which actually, I didn't even realise that eclipses happened that often. I thought it was one of those very rare things. The more you know. So the book starts with Kit preparing to go to Iceland, I think. He's going somewhere. He's going somewhere the other side of the world to see this eclipse. And he's taking a friend from work with him because normally he would have went with Laura, but now because Laura's pregnant, she can't go and they already spent money on it, so he's taking a friend with him. So Laura's going to be left on her own in this apartment. And from the get-go, we get references to two other main characters. One is called Beth and the other is called Jamie. I can't even remember their last names. Oops. Beth and Jamie, we don't actually get to know a lot about them in the beginning, but they're referenced a lot. Ooh. But they were referenced a lot, and I thought, okay, they're gonna be important. They're important to the story. I didn't realize how much so. And so because we kept having this jump between the year 2000 or 1999 and then present day, there was a lot more in present day in the beginning, I felt. So I had absolutely no idea who this Beth was, who Jamie was, but you could tell that they were afraid of them. They were afraid of Beth, and she sounded like she was a stalker to them. She was stalking them. And Jamie as well, she referenced Jamie sending like letters or something like that, but she referenced him sending letters from prison. So I was like, okay, this man's a criminal. Oh, before I go any further, I will just read the back to you. The best suspense you'll read this year. Don't be left in the dark. In the hushed aftermath of a total eclipse, Laura witnesses a brutal attack. She and her boyfriend Kit call the police, and in the moment, 4 lives changed forever. 15 years on, Laura and Kit live in fear, and while Laura knows she was right to speak out, she also knows that you can never see the whole picture. Something is always hidden, something she never could have guessed. So right from the start, I know something's up. And I think I already, judging by that, I think I figured that it was going to be I should probably put in like a trigger warning for this book. But I'm not gonna go into detail of graphics, but there are a lot of references, mentions to assault towards a woman from a man. Get my gist? From the get-go, I was a bit confused. I was waiting for something to happen. I was waiting to find out what had happened in the past. Because with 2015, Laura and Kit were obviously referencing stuff that had happened that we as the reader did not yet know. And sometimes I don't mind that. I don't mind that if a character is being a bit kind of mysterious or referencing something that's happened before but we don't know about it. I actually didn't like it this time for once. It was a bit too much. Like at one point, the guy that went with Kit to Iceland, he made a comment at one point about burning his hand, and then he kind of looked at Kit sheepishly and he was kind of like, oh sorry man, sorry dude. And then Kit kind of was like, nah, it's okay. And I was kind of like, wait, what are you talking about? Does Kit have burns? You never told me this. At least I don't think you did. But yeah, you find out that he does. He has like a burn on his hand. But like, I didn't know. And I was having to like put the pieces together, and I was kind of like, wait, what are you talking about? But anyway, then about a quarter of the, maybe more than a quarter of the way into it, it's a 400-page book, and for the first 100 pages or so, this book took me so long to read, by the way. I was struggling with it. The first 100 pages or so, I was just a bit kind of like, meh. It's a bit, I was so excited to read it when I read a lot of good reviews about it, saying about how great it was and how thrilling it was. How thrilling of a thriller it was. And I just thought, well, where? What? Where? While on his trip, Kit is paranoid that this Beth is on the boat with him and that she'll be there because she turned up once before in Zambia when Kit and Laura were eclipse hunting, eclipse chasing, and she appeared and they had to get away from her. And then they changed their names. They only changed their last names. They changed their names because of Beth and because she'd followed them to Zambia that one time. And so they were worried that there's a seagull and like it was flying right towards my window. Oh my god. So Kit's paranoid that Beth knows how much he loves eclipses. He's worried that she's gonna find him on this eclipse. And Laura's worried that she's gonna find him and she's at home alone, pregnant with 2 babies. I'm trying to think what else happened for the first while. Then we kind of get to go back to when Laura met Kit, because Laura is good friends with a girl called Lynn or Ling, I forgot, and she is going out with Kit's twin brother Mark. So the 4 they become a foursome. No, but they all meet thanks to this relationship between Lynn/Ling. So Kit and Laura meet each other through Lynn/Ling and Mac, which is cute, and then they all go to a festival together, and that's the festival where they see what they done saw. I will admit, one good thing about this book, it definitely did make you judge who was telling the truth. Like from the start, when Laura stumbles upon the scene, I'll call it, and straight away the guy, Jamie, is like, no, nothing's going on. Nothing's wrong. It's just two people doing the do during the eclipse. It's a magical time. We're in the mood. Eclipse. But straight off the bat, Laura accuses him of I don't know if I can even talk about this. I'm trying not to use the word. Straight away, Laura accuses him of assaulting the girl, which is Beth. And Beth is very quiet. She seems shocked. She's not saying anything. And obviously Laura's the one that's like throwing around the accusations. And Jamie is very determined that no, nothing wrong, nothing illegal happened here. Then he runs away, Kit goes after him. After the actual attack, Laura takes Beth to the police. Then they finally have kind of like enough evidence to go to court. And Kit and Laura called as witnesses. And so that's when I first started to think, okay, is this where something goes wrong? Because at this point, it's like Beth is a victim, alleged victim, and Jamie is the alleged accuser. And at this point, Laura is like fully just 100% behind Beth. Everything's like fine. So I can't then understand why further down the line, 15 years later, suddenly they've had to change their names and they're hiding from her. I'm like, what the hell went down? Why did you do something in court? What happened? I was kind of interested by this part because I thought, where's this gonna go? How can we suddenly have a big U-turn from being friends with Beth and supporting her, because it's not like they accused her of making it up, unlike everybody else in the country it seemed. So then there's the whole big thing with the court, and of course defense lawyers for Jamie are accusing her of making it up. They accuse Laura of putting the idea into her head because she was the one that stormed in and called him an R-word. So I suppose I did like that in a way, because it wasn't like outright said to us, this man is a R-word. And I had to admit, there were times where like I really questioned it. I was like, what is the truth? I'm sorry if I keep looking out the window. It's such a lovely day. I'm just looking at the view. So that definitely not confused me, but it made me question the truth. So after the court case, and I suppose this is a spoiler, but it's not really a spoiler, because I figured from early chapters telling us that Jamie was writing to Laura from prison, I figured, oh, he must get convicted then. And he did. But you genuinely, as you're reading it, you genuinely think something's going to go wrong here. And it's going to end up being like a not guilty verdict. But he was found guilty. I don't know if that's really a spoiler. I don't know. Too late now. And after that, Beth basically kind of invites herself into Laura's and Kit's life. But Laura likes her. Laura wants to help her. Laura feels responsible for her. And also, Laura told a little white lie while on trial, which, perjury? Is that what that is? I forget. And so she's shitting herself thinking that, oh my god, if I get caught out. She claimed that she heard Beth whisper no. But then like the lawyer brought up saying like, well, in your original statement you said that she wasn't making any sound. So it was kind of back and forth. You could have said you thought you heard her say that if anybody asked you, or just say, oh, I heard it in my mind. She was living in fear that somebody was going to find out that she lied. And obviously you can get in trouble for that, for lying on the witness stand. Yeah, I think you can. Perjury? I think so. So Beth and Laura are friends now, and again, this is why I was so confused. I thought, how is this all going to go down? How are they going to end up 15 years later running from her, changing their names and moving? I just thought, where's this going to go? I honestly couldn't see it. So that's why for the most part of this book, a good half of it, I wasn't really that gripped by it, because here we had present day chapters telling us that they're living in fear of Beth, but then in the past chapters, she just seems like a lovely girl, just maybe a bit overbearing at times, living with them and best friends with them. Kit is a bit reserved, and we do learn why in the end. Not going into detail about that, but it's like, well, what's gonna go down? They suddenly make you afraid of this girl. That's when I generally thought, well, is something gonna go down here? Was it all a big lie? Was there a assault, or was it consensual? Like, what is happening? But then a wee bit more into the book, I'm not quite sure at what point, some stuff does go down, because Beth is a little overbearing at times, and Kit definitely wants her out of their lives. And I think Laura feels responsible for her in a way, but also she too probably can see that this girl is she's a bit full on. There's a few things that she did like. Well, for example, she bought them like really expensive gifts as a way of saying thank you. She bought candles for Laura, which play an important part in this, I will say. Then she took a photo of Kit and Laura lying in their bed, nude. The covers were covering them. I mean, could you imagine like letting somebody stay with you and your boyfriend, and as I'll say a thank you present, they produce a photo in a frame, and it's a photo of you and your significant other cuddling, spooning, whatever, just laying in bed next to each other. You're both naked. The sun was like shining in on their face. She said it was like an artistic, lovely shot. I mean, I can see it in a way. It's one of those things though, you feel like if you're gonna do it, you would do it yourself with your significant other, like maybe set up a timer and try and take the photo, but then maybe it's not as authentic. But you would not want someone else seeing that intimate moment. If somebody did that to me, I'd be desperate to get them out of my house. I wouldn't feel comfortable. Then there is something, what is it now? There's a conversation happens between Laura and Beth that escalates, and Beth storms out, and then they have a phone call where they're both wanting each other to apologise. It kind of escalates. The phone is cut off. And then a few little things happen around the house. I really don't want to get into too much detail about this. I won't go into full detail of what actually happened, because when it did, I was a bit unpleasantly surprised. There was a couple of things happened that pointed to Beth, and that's why they changed their names. This girl was a threat to their lives. So that's why then, in present day, we're fearful of Beth. And when they saw her in Zambia, they were freaking out. And that's why Kit's kind of worried on the boat if there's a Beth. Laura's worried for Kit in case Beth is out there chasing him. So now I finally understand it, which I feel like the story of what happened between them and Beth could have happened a lot sooner. It's not that big a book. It's only 400 pages, but I definitely feel like some of this stuff could have happened earlier on. It would have made it made it a bit more exciting for me, because as I say, I was just so confused for the longest time as to why we didn't like Beth. She seemed like such a lovely girl who'd been through a troubling time. So at this point, indefinitely, I was sort of convinced that the assault wasn't actually an assault. I was a bit kind of like, oh my god, it's an innocent man rotting in prison. One of the key plot points in this is that Jamie's family is so convinced he's innocent. They have set up a web page about his innocence, and obviously he's got some supporters behind him. He's from a wealthy family. I really can't go into too much detail now about what I liked about it, because it's basically the ending and it's spoilers. But everything did kind of, within the last I'll say 150 pages or so, everything did kind of come to a head, and it was getting exciting, and I was like, oh my god. A little bit unbelievable at times, I must admit. There were I'm going to call it the final showdown. It was a bit it became a bit far-fetched. It just all came out of nowhere. Considering the slow pace the book got off to, everything just escalated really quickly. And I was like, oh my god. And then a few things came out from the past that we did not yet know. And I was a bit like, oh. And then, oh my god, the ending. The ending. When we found out everything, I was like, definitely one of the best twists I have ever read in a book. The twist ending of this book was everything to me. It actually put my review right up. I would have given this book a 4 out of 5 were it not for the slowness, the confusion I felt, just the dragging pace that it had. But that was an ending done sublimely, in my opinion anyway. It was just, it was one of the, people probably figured out the twist. I can sometimes figure out a mystery if it's like a whodunit, but I can never figure out like a twist, if a twist is coming. Sometimes you can't tell. Sometimes you really can't. I should have realised with this one, in a way. You feel like the pieces were maybe there for you to pick up on it. I didn't at all. I was just like, Yes, it was everything. One of the best endings I've had in a while, I think. And I was so satisfied with it. I recommend reading it. I honestly do. Somebody else would probably love it a lot more than I did. It's just that kind of slow pace that I just couldn't bear for a while. But once I kind of got into it and I started sailing through it, it was like, you know what? It ain't that bad. It ain't that bad. And the ending was worth it, now that I think about it. That ending was worth it. Yeah, so that was my review for He Said, She Said, and also my little mini haul. But thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you in my next video. I'm also in the process of getting new carpet and furniture in my room. So a lot of my stuff is going into boxes. My bookshelf is somewhat cleared. I literally have not changed my bedroom furniture since I was a child. It's just all the same stuff. So that's something to look forward to. How exciting. I didn't realise how much stuff I had until I had to put it all in boxes to clear out, but oh well. Well, I hope you have a lovely day, and I hope you're reading lots of books in 2020. I have not. I have only read 2 books. I'm doing terrible. If I end up doing a wrap up for the end of January, there's gonna be like nothing in it. Just this book and The Two Towers from The Lord of the Rings. Oh god. I need to get back into reading. I should maybe read today. There's so much to do. So much clearing out to do. Okay, so thanks again for watching, and I shall see you in my next video. Bye!